Hi, this is Thresden, and this is part 11 of an Elder Scrolls Online Standard Edition walkthrough. In the past few videos, we've tried to get set up for adventuring past level 10, and we've actually already reached level 15. Let me help this person over here. And my inventory's full. Alright, well I don't need that junk anyway. So, yeah, we've tried to get set up, and we ended up going to Darkshade Caverns. We went to Zanispilu and did a delve. We went to an Ald'ruhn battleground and did a Crazy King battleground. And we're just about set up to where we can start doing daily tasks. But the one thing we haven't done is Consumables crafting certification. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And then afterwards we'll start getting into the process of doing writs and doing random battlegrounds and dungeons, which we've already done some of. In a much later episode, I'll go to Cyrodiil and show that. That's an open world PvP zone, but that'll be several episodes later, because after I finish this part, I want to go back into doing some of the story that we've kind of neglected in the past few episodes.
There is much more I can teach you. What else do you hope to learn from me?
What can you tell me about provisioning certification?
A provisioner condenses the essence of ingredients into food or drink. A true artist balances palate with nutrition. I can share this noble profession, but I can only certify one craft at a time. Understood?
Understood. I want to be certified as a provisioner.
Provisioning is a rewarding yet grueling profession. Gruel, you see. I am capable of levity. On occasion.
Oh yeah, you're a real funny guy.
First you'll need a recipe and some ingredients. Then you shall roast a pig.
You'll certify me if I roast a pig?
Yes, I hope you don't think it beneath you. As bards learn lyrics before singing them, provisioners must work from recipes. A recipe specifies volume, proportion, and preparation time. Understanding these principles is key.
Very well. Where should I find a recipe?
I keep an old rival's recipe nearby. Go, find and memorize it. Return to me when you have done so.
Where else can I find recipes?
Provisioners are quite secretive, but all is fair in brews and stews. Some provisioners hide recipes in old drawers or shelves, thinking themselves clever. Better to memorize the recipe. Then others cannot possibly learn your secrets.
Is there anywhere I can purchase recipes?
Should coin be of no issue to you, guilds often sell such items in their guild stores. You may also trade with an ally if they have any excess.
Alright, so we need to find Danel Tilano's trunk and get the recipe from it.
May I help you?
Alright, recipe for roast pig. And inventory's full. That's alright, we got a merchant right here.
I've been reading a most fascinating account of the travels of Kirith and Raynor, Dark Elf explorers. Have you heard of them? I think I met them in Mournhold. They wanted to join the Mages Guild. I wonder how that turned out.
I hate to sell some of these some of this gear here because we could deconstruct it later. Yeah, I'm going to try to get by without selling that right now. Alright, learned how to make roast pig.
Roast pig is an easy recipe to learn, but difficult to master.
I learned the recipe. What's next?
Provisioners are only as good as their ingredients. The fewer the better. Simplicity of pairing is key. Now, go find ingredients for roast pig. If my stocks are empty, you should find what you need in town.
Where else can I find ingredients?
Barrels, sacks of grain, kitchens, of course. It's food, it's simply around. Find what you need and take it.
Whoa, I definitely went the wrong way. Oh, there's an Outlaws Refuge down here. Interesting. Cool, so this is where you can sell stolen goods.
It isn't that Cerebi wishes to steal from a god, she just needs to get by, like everyone else.
I run a cleaning service of sorts. Most merchants don't like buying dirty goods.
Alright. So, if we ever needed to sell some stolen goods, we could come here. This character isn't much of a thief. But,
Worried about the locals? I honestly can't tell you the safer spot. There's somewhat of an unspoken code down here.
Alright, and there's a banker down in the Outlaws Refuge. That's cool. So, yeah, I mean, if you play like a character that steals stuff, then you can come here and, sell your stolen goods, or launder them, or whatever. Alright, we need to search for supplies.
I don't have to go, you know. I can help clean things up around here. I know how to keep a low profile.
This isn't up for debate. You're going.
And here's Naryu and Vea.
How did I know you were going to show up, hero? Can't get enough of my smiling face, hmm? I know she tried to murder a kin house full of counselors, but Vea deserves to see a friendly face before I send her away.
Are you sure sending Vea away is the right decision?
She spilled Redrin blood without a writ. She broke the rules of the Morag Tong. As I see it, I don't have a choice. Vea needs to remain dead in the eyes of Vardenfell. Otherwise we'll all have to pay for the damage she's done.
Isn't there still a risk in this plan of yours?
Only if it fails, and that's not going to happen. Somerset is far enough away that no one will find her. Besides, Vea needs time to heal and make a fresh start. She'll be fine. Her new mentor is a pussycat compared to me.
Nara, you thought you might stop by. You probably hate me, and I completely understand. I'm still glad you showed up, though.
Do you think you can put this all behind you?
I lost my brother. I killed my own father. I kind of went crazy out there for a while. I don't think I'll ever put this completely behind me. But I'll do what Naryu asks. I'll go away, finish my training, try to make a new start.
Where's Naryu sending you?
Oh, to Somerset. But don't tell anybody. She was quite adamant about that. She's given me a letter of introduction for some highfalutin Khajiit. Works for a queen or something. Anyway, he's going to be my new mentor.
Well, good luck to you, Vea.
Look, I'm sorry. Oran's death made me crazy. That's no excuse. But I'm never gonna forgive House Redoran for the attitudes that brought us here. I'm done with them. Take care of Naryu. I don't want her to get hurt because of me.
Alright, got some white meat.
Once you return with the ingredients, we'll determine whether you know how to combine them.
I'm ready to try. I have them right here.
I've always believed the hunt for ingredients is its own reward.
I had a successful hunt. What's my next step?
Now, the moment of truth. Go to a cooking pot with your ingredients and follow the recipe. Return to me with the results, so your worth as a cook may be judged.
If I run out of ingredients, where can I find some more?
Barrels, sacks of grain, kitchens, of course. It's food, it's simply a rush.
Okay, we've already asked him that, actually.
Bring me your culinary creation so I might inspect it. I'll determine whether or not you deserve certification.
Alright, crafted some roast pig.
Bring me your culinary creation so I might inspect it. I'll determine whether or not you deserve certification.
It's right here, eat up.
Interesting scent. Do I detect a hint of Wamasu? No, that can't be right. Not how I do it, of course, but interesting enough to pass certification. You may now fulfill provisioning writs. Keep your pots warm and your ladle clean. Your command of the crafts is impressive, but not yet in totality. I am still capable of instructing you.
Okay, let's see what I got here. I got cooking supplies. Ooh, 2 new recipes. Recipe for baked apples and Surly Syrah wine. Alright, let's get the other 2 certifications
Your
now.
command of the crafts is impressive, but not yet in totality. I am still capable of instructing you.
I'm interested in Enchanting Certification.
Enchanters harness the possibility of runes, transforming them into the certainty of glyphs. I'll teach you, but I can only focus on one certification at a time. Is this agreeable?
I want to be certified as an enchanter.
Potency, essence, and aspect. All beneath the stars bear these component concepts. When combined, they form glyphs, which add enchantments to items. First, you'll find these component runes. Then I will have you create a glyph.
I need to create a glyph to be certified?
Absolutely, for such is the essence of enchanting. Runes of potency, essence, and aspect are the fundamental components of glyphs. Collect one of each variety before you return.
Where can I find a potency, essence, and aspect rune?
I know of a cache outside this town. It is a rare exception for runes to be clustered so close together, so thank whatever gods you worship. Should the runes be absent, you must search further afield.
Where else can I find runes?
There are many places one can find runes, but the ancient ruins of Tamriel are where I look first. Outside, primarily. They tend to gutter out if kept away from starlight.
I'll return with the runes. Alright, so basically the place we're going to go, it's the same place we've been getting all the other materials. I'm going to go ahead and stop right here and upgrade the horse. Alright, we got Oko, Ta, and Jorah. After this, the only one we'll have left is Alchemy Certification, and then we'll be done. Done with crafting, at least, with the certifications.
Once you recover 3 runes, one each of potency, essence, and aspect, we shall begin the enchanting process.
I've got them right here.
You likely noticed their distinctive flares of light.
I did. What's our next step?
We begin at the enchanting table. There you will combine a rune of potency, essence, and aspect. This simple puzzle forms a glyph. Now go, piece them together.
So I can ask, how do I use glyphs, or if I can put glyphs together. Let me go ahead and ask this. How do I use glyphs?
Each glyph is best suited for weapons, armor, or jewelry. Simply place the glyph upon an unenchanted item of that type, and the enchantment will take hold. A word of caution. Once applied, they are permanent.
This is actually not true. Once applied, they are not permanent. You could just put another enchantment there, and it'll just replace the old one. I don't know why he says that. Maybe it used to be like that years ago. If I can put glyphs together, can I take them apart?
Indeed you can. Bring the glyph to any enchanting station. There you can extract it to recover some runes that went into its creation. To note, extracting another enchanter's glyphs can teach you far more than extracting your own runes.
Okay, so let's go to the enchanting table. Okay, so you can tell by the color which kind it is. Like this one's potency. It also tells you in the tooltip. So the blue ones are potency, the green ones are essence, and the orange, kind of beige or orange ones are aspect. You have to have one of each. Okay, develop, magicka, and base are the 3. I always get confused by this, but I believe we did craft it. Yeah, a trifling glyph of magicka. That's what we crafted. Alright, now why is it still saying I need to do something else? Alright, I'm going to ignore that. Go over here. Hopefully this thing is not bugged.
Craft a glyph using a rune of potency, essence, and aspect. Return when you...
Which I've already done. Alright, I'm going to deconstruct these. It looks like this may be bugged. It's not going to let me finish. So, we may not be able to finish the certification. I think it's because I chose that other dialogue option.
Craft a glyph using...
Yep. Still can't do it. Can't craft another one. Well, that's a shame. I shouldn't have chosen that other dialogue option. It's caused it to bug out. Alright, so we're just going to have provisioning, and that's going to be it. So, once you get all of your certifications, you can... Let me see, do I have anything I can sell? I need
Making
inventory
your own
slots.
clothing.
Got one piece of heavy armor, which is fine. Well, we've got 2 pieces, and we only want 1. So... let's go ahead and wear that belt. Looks like that's all we can use. So let's go ahead and deconstruct. First, I need to research. Let's see what traits are researchable from things that we found the previous time. So we've got reinforced. This will increase an item's armor value. We've got well-fitted. That reduces the cost of sprinting and roll dodging. What else? This is training. That increases experience. That's very useful if you're leveling an alt. Divines increases Mundus Stone effects. Got well-fitted in training for the helmet. I'll tell you what, let's do training for the helmet. We're going to research that trait and learn how to make items with that trait. So that's going to destroy the helmet that we used, and then we can deconstruct the rest of them and use it to level our clothing skill, which right now is at level 2. This is going to bring it to level 3. Same thing with these. We need daggers, not staves, so we can deconstruct. Well, let's do research. What we really want is to research a bow trait. So let's do training for bow. We can use the Prophet's Bow for that. And then we can deconstruct everything else and level our woodworking skill. So now that's almost up to 4. We can do the same thing with these shields. That'll bring us up past 4. Yeah. Then we can do the same thing with blacksmithing. Alright, we really want to research dagger traits. So let's do training for dagger. And then we'll deconstruct everything else. So bring blacksmithing up to 3. And then we got these. That brought us up to 4. I'm just going to... You know what? I wonder if I abandon this Enchanter Certification, if we can start it over.
Your command of the crafts is enchanted. Potency, essence, and absolutely, for such is the essence. Potency, absolute. I know of it. There are many.
Let's see if that stuff will be there. Okay, we were able to abandon the quest and retake it, but the runes are now gone. So that makes sense. They don't want you to be able to just keep abandoning it and retaking it and then just get an infinite number of runes. That would be an exploit. So we're just not going to worry about that. We're going to continue with the writs for clothing, woodworking, and blacksmithing. before I do anything else, I still need to clear out my inventory. So let me see if there's anything I can sell. I've got 21 out of 70 slots used. I really need to free up more space. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and take these writs. So every day you have these daily quests that you can get from this equipment crafting writ board. It'll tell you to craft a certain amount of items. So for woodworking, we've got 2 maple bows and a maple shield. There's 1 bow. There's the second one. And there's the shield. Now, for clothing, it now says deliver goods to nearest writ quartermaster, but we want to do all of these before we go to the quartermaster. I'm going to go to the journal. Go to Clothier Writ. We need a rawhide helmet, rawhide arm cops, and rawhide bracers. Find these. Rawhide helmet, arm cops, bracers. And bracers. Alright, and now let's go back to the journal. Go to Blacksmith Writ. We need an iron helm, iron dagger, and iron pauldron. Iron helm. Iron dagger. Iron pauldron. Alright, and we're done with our equipment crafting writs. Now we go and turn them in. You can do this once per day to level your crafting skills. Your crafting skill lines, I should say. Alright, we're going to get 1,000 inspiration, a Clothier satchel, and an Anniversary Jubilee gift box, because it happens to be the Anniversary Jubilee right now. For Blacksmith, we're going to get another 1,000 inspiration, Blacksmith's crate. And for Woodworker, same thing basically, but a Woodworker's case instead of what we got with the others. Now inside of these cases, here's a Jubilee gift box. Gonna get wormwood. Not sure what use that is. I guess it's alchemy. It's an alchemy herb. Then inside the blacksmith's crate, repair kit, ingots. And in the Clothier satchel, shipment of leather, rawhide helmet we can deconstruct. So now let's deconstruct the helmet. Alright, nothing to deconstruct there. And we got an iron girdle. This is intricate, so you get more inspiration for deconstructing it. And And then the only thing left, since we've only got one consumables crafting profession, we can only take the Provisioner Writ. And it tells us to craft baked apples and lemon flower mazte, or however you pronounce that. And we don't have the ingredients for it, unfortunately. So I'm just going to abandon that. And I'm going to hang on to the Enchanter Certification in case we happen to run across any items we can use. But basically, if you do those things every day, you get those writs every day, and you'll keep leveling your skill line. So if you look at blacksmithing, for example, we're up to level 4. We've got all of these skills. Metalworking, the higher this gets, the better gear we can make. Right now we can only make iron gear, which is low level. But if we keep putting points into metalworking, we'll be able to make higher and higher level items. But in order to... there's a limit on how many points you can put into here, and it's based on your blacksmithing skill. So you need to try to upgrade your blacksmithing skill every day, because it takes a long time to get it up to max level. And then as you get skill points, if you have some extra ones, you want to put them into metalworking, and also these will help you. For example, this makes ore in the world easier to see. This one gives you a hireling that will send you ore every day. All of these are useful, but the main thing is metalworking right here. The higher that gets, the better gear you can make. Same thing with clothing, same thing with woodworking. We can make better and better weapons if we put points into this. And then it's basically the same way with enchanting and provision. You just have to keep trying to upgrade them every day. So let me make sure I've sold everything and have as much space in my inventory as possible before we go off and do dungeons and battlegrounds and things like that. Alright, let me go ahead and queue for a dungeon. Then we'll see where we can go next while we wait for the dungeon. We've got an Ancestral Tomb over here. Let's see, where should we go next? Skip all these, we can get these Ancestral Tomb rubbings later. Let's skip all that and go up to here. And we'll come down to investigate Ald'ruhn and continue the main storyline of the zone. Continue to try to find out why Lord Vivec is losing his power. Someone's inviting me to join Rum Dogs. That's quite alright. Let me go into my journal and focus, set the focus on divine inquiries. What's this saying? Oh, there's the book right there.
I demand to see my brother. Lay hands upon me, and you will lose them. You there! The territory of the Red Exiles shouldn't be traveled lightly. Ashlanders once respected each other, helped one another. You'd think these were house wolves or tribunal dogs, the way they treated me. Speaking of the tribunal, you have the smell of dog about you. I wonder why that is.
I'm looking into something for Lord Vivec.
Lord Vivec, is it? And I thought all the tribunal cared about was building monuments to their own greatness. Nice to see that one of them cares about what's going on beyond their borders. Well, perhaps we can aid each other this day, Outlander.
What kind of help do you need?
Ashlanders are nomads, but we gather at sacred sites to trade, confer, and pay homage to the past. Ald'ruhn is such a place. That's why Chodala invited the Red Exiles here. But these outcasts won't let me into their camp. I need to find my brother.
Who's your brother?
My brother, Chodala, is the Ashkan of our tribe, and I am his ambassador. I act as a go-between among the tribes. Chodala wants to unite the Dunmer and calmly end the era of the bickering houses. He hopes to convince the tribes to follow his lead.
So what do you need me to do?
Head into the Red Exiles camp and find my brother. Otherwise, see if you can find out what he was doing in there and where he's gone. Be wary of the outcasts. As you saw, they won't hesitate to attack without reason or provocation.
Your brother rules over the Ashlander tribes?
No, just our tribe, the Urshilaku, though he's respected by most of the other Ashlanders for his wisdom and strength of will. He does hope to unite the tribes in a common cause, however. That's one of the reasons we've gathered here at Ald'ruhn.
Tell me more about Chodala.
My brother and I have always worked to help our people and improve the Ashlander way of life. He used to believe that peaceful negotiation was the best path to accomplish this. Recently, however, things have become different. He's almost like...
Like what?
No, that's not something I'm ready to talk about with an outsider. Perhaps after you prove your trustworthiness and willingness to help us, then we can discuss my brother in more detail. Perhaps.
You said Chodala wants to unite the tribes. Are you planning to go to war?
That's not our goal, but the tribes will defend themselves if necessary. No, we hope to present a united front and show the houses the folly of the path they've embarked upon. Turning away from our forefathers and god ancestors has made them weak.
Tell me more about the Red Exiles.
The Red Exiles? They're violent, dangerous Ashlanders who were banished from their tribes and joined together to create their own clan. Chodala invited them to the gathering and went into the camp to talk, but he's been gone too long. I'm worried.
You think I'll have to fight my way through the camp?
As you saw, hostility is second nature to the Red Exiles. We're here to negotiate, but they're no better than thieves and murderers. If they spot you in their camp, you'll need to defend yourself. It's unfortunate, but they'll leave you no choice. Chodala went to meet with the Red Exiles leader and hasn't returned. If I enter the camp and have to kill any of those foolish outcasts, it could have serious repercussions for our negotiations. Find my brother, and I'll help you with your quest.
Okay. You know what? I need to go get this way shrine before I do anything else. Alright, let's see if we can find her brother. Alright, looks like he's in here. Or something is. Notes on the meeting with Chodola, Nerevarine, and wielder of Sunara, compiled by Scribe Dakin. Kund-Ud greeted Ashkan Chodola as Gulukan, Yusashtin, and Nibapur, the fire-breather, looked on. Chodola displayed no fear and showed Kund-Ud a level of respect rarely given to tribal outcasts. We had lent him the use of a small warband of Red Exiles, but now he was here to negotiate a more permanent arrangement. Chodola began the meeting by explaining his plans for tribal unification, stressing that there was a place for the Red Exiles in his unified vision. Kund-Ud demanded to know why the Red Exiles should even consider returning to the tribes that banished them. Chodola appeared thoughtful before he replied, "Because you are Ashlanders, and our blood calls one to another." Then Chodola demonstrated the power of the staff our warband helped him acquire. He called the staff Sunara. "Sunara grants me the strength of a god," Chodola said, striking a stone with the tip of his staff, so that the stone cracked like the shell of an egg. Kund-Ud ordered his champion, Gulakan Yusashtin, to put the blasphemous Ashkan in his place, but no matter how many times her sword lashed out, it never once touched or pierced Chodola's flesh. "What kind of creature are you?" Kund-Ud demanded. "I am the Nerevarine," Chodola proclaimed, and Kund-Ud, Gulakan, Yusashtin, and Nibapur prostrated themselves before him. "The Red Exiles shall be my enforcers, and Yusashtin shall be my champion," Chodola declared. "Prepare yourselves for my return. I have much work for you to do." "Where are you going, Nerevarine?" Kund-Ud asked. "I need time to meditate upon our next course of action," Chodola said. "Then I have a meeting with the wise woman Dovrosi to ratify my claims as the Nerevarine." Chodola departed, and Gulakan Yusashtin went with him, thus ending the meeting. Okay, so looks like Chodola has a staff that makes him essentially invincible. And if you remember, in one of our earlier episodes, we investigated a mine that there were some people fighting over a staff that had gears in it. So, is that the staff? Maybe. Maybe it's a different staff? Who knows? But we need to find out. I'm probably going to have to end up destroying some provisioning supplies and other kinds of crafting supplies because my inventory is going to get full. But that's okay. I've shown you how crafting works in ESO. We won't do that in any other episode, so you get the picture. I can just go ahead and destroy it.
You seem to have survived your visit to the Red Exiles camp. Did you find my brother?
No, but I found this record of his meeting with the Red Exiles leader.
Interesting. I never suspected that the outcasts were disciplined enough to keep records such as this. Oh no. I can't believe my brother would be so brazen.
He called himself the Nerevarine. Do you know what that means?
It means that Chodola really has changed. With his newfound powers and rising ambitions, I fear what he plans for the tribes. I suppose you have a right to know what I'm talking about. Take this. I found it among my brother's possessions.
Another scroll? Did Chodola write this?
Chodola discovered new power out in the wilderness, and it changed his view of the world. He writes about it in that document. Now he believes he's the Nerevarine, and incites the tribes while I try to keep them all from doing anything rash.
What's the Nerevarine?
You don't know? I thought... No, you're not an Ashlander, and the House Elves rarely talk about such things. Long ago, there was a hero named Nerevar. He fought alongside the Tribunal, before they claimed to be gods, until they betrayed him.
The Tribunal betrayed Nerevar?
So our legends say.
Nerevar united the Kaima and forged an alliance with the Dwemer. He died at the Battle of Red Mountain. We believe the tribunal hastened his demise, despite Vivec's claims to the contrary.
But where does the Nerevarine fit into all that?
The Nerevarine is a promise and a prophecy. We believe that, through the power of Azura, Nerevar will return to unite all Dunmer, House and Ashlander alike, and make Morrowind great again. The returned Nerevar will be known as the Nerevarine.
Make Morrowind great again, so it's MMGA instead of MAGA. You don't believe Chodala's claim?
While the prophecy of the Nerevarine can be interpreted as the end of the tribunal, I have always seen it as a prediction of hope and peace. Chodala and some Ashlanders, such as the Red Exiles, favor war. That's not the Nerevarine I believe in.
You think Chodala wants a war?
He uses an Ashkan's words to plant dark ideas in his followers. Ideas that speak of false gods, lost traditions, and the need for a cleansing war. His words become more forceful every day, but I hope to dissuade him from this violent course.
Tell me about Chodala's new power.
All I know is that his new power frightens me. Chodala returned from a sojourn in the wilderness more vibrant, more commanding. He's always been strong, but now he's fearless, practically invincible, and swifter than the fastest Ashlander scout.
What do you think is the source of Chodala's new power?
Chodala says his new abilities strengthen his claim as the Nerevarine. I think it's the staff he carries. He had it when he returned, and now it's always at his side. I know it's unreasonable, but I hate that staff. He calls it Sunara. Chodala stopped confiding in me, but he's still my brother. I don't know where he goes to meditate, but he has to visit the Wise Woman eventually. I'm sure we'll find him in Ald'ruhn. Despite your civilized ways, I am proud to call you my friend.
Alright, we're done. We're done with that part of the main story quest. Let's see if there's any other... Here's another quest we can pick up.
Ah, a fellow outsider in this inhospitable Sea of Ash. I wonder if we might help each other. Drellith Hilaron of House Redoran at your service, though I doubt I'll be very useful here. This is Ashlander country, and they've made it clear I'm not welcome. It's my fault, really. I made a mess of their customs when I arrived.
What happened?
I'm researching for my family's ancestral tomb, you see. My research led me here, to Ald'ruhn. It's hard to believe, but I think my family may have settled here for a time. When I arrived, I immediately started asking questions. I was overzealous.
So now they refuse to help you?
Unfortunately, yes. I wonder if we might aid each other. Despite my missteps, I do know a great deal about Ashlander culture. I could help you earn their favor. In return, you could find out if they know anything about my family's tomb.
That sounds fair.
First, pay respect to Farseer Quamta. She walks the Red Path this year, and it's customary to wish her well. Request to take part in the offering to the first Ashkans. Do that, and you should be able to ask their wise woman about the tomb.
Where can I find Farseer Quamta?
You'll see a great bonfire in the middle of the camp. She'll be there. Look for the woman with the blindfold.
A blindfold?
Part of the ritual honoring her ascension from Farseer to Wise Woman. The wise women guide the Ashlanders on matters of faith. Even the Ashkans defer to them. The blindfold represents the need to look beyond what the eyes can see.
Why are so many Ashlanders here?
The annual pilgrimage to honor the fall of Scar, the great Emperor Crab. The Ashlanders claim their ancestors united to bring the beast down. They gather here to celebrate the victory and bring offerings to the cairns of the first Ashkans.
First Ashkans?
Fathers of the 4 largest Ashlander tribes. Long ago, they united the Velothi people under one banner to kill Scar. The tribes often quarrel, but during a celebration they greet each other as friends. I wish the houses had such a custom.
You mentioned a lost tomb.
Yes, the Hilaron Ancestral Tomb. My family's crypt has been lost for centuries. Most of my kinsmen gave up searching for it decades ago. They assume it's been destroyed or lies too deeply buried, but I remain optimistic.
How did the search bring you here?
I discovered a tablet hidden away in an ancient Velothi temple. It contained a cryptic reference to my family. In the shadow of Scar, we found our home. The Ashlanders call the last Emperor Crab Scar, so the tomb must be nearby.
Why do you think the Ashlanders might know where it is?
The tribes gather here every year beneath Scar to pay tribute to the first Ashgans. Do you know the old Velothi saying, all stones speak the truth? Well, no one knows these stones better than the Ashlanders.
Alright, I actually don't have any buff food right now, so let me go ahead and, let's see, this will increase stamina recovery by 532 for 35 minutes. That's pretty good. Got Serum of Stamina. But that's more of a potion. So I'm going to use this. And then I've already got a stamina potion, so I'm just going to leave that alone.
Your footsteps are as loud as a Kaguti's. What is it you want, Outlander?
I've come to pay my respects, Farseer.
Have you now? Then you have...
Yeah, I knew that was my normal dungeon. Here we go. Okay, somebody must have rejected it.
Your footsteps are as loud as a Kaguti's. What is it you want, Outlander?
Yes, I'm ready. We're going to the Banished Cells. This dungeon is actually located in Auradon, which is one of the Aldmeri Dominion areas. But luckily, thanks to the Dungeon Finder, we can just teleport straight there. Alright, and that's it for this video. In the next episode, we'll do the Banished Cells dungeon. See you later.